Hi, welcome to the first episode of Facing Mortality, the good, the bad, and whatever you want to call the other one. I think it's actually a personal choice. So this being the first episode, I'll give you a rundown of the diagnosis and just some follow-up points on that. The purpose of this series is to basically, because I am still here, alive, living, is to share what I have experienced on the journey. Unlike someone who, for example, in a car accident, their life might be taken straight away from them, or those who have had a few months to live after a diagnosis, terminal diagnosis, where I thought I had that, but I'm still here. So knowing that the diagnosis is terminal and I'm supposedly on borrowed time, I think it's a case that I have got too much information to share to not only those who are patients, but to the elderly, where they experience loss of independence, to caregivers where they are looking after those who aren't well, to family and friends who are involved and not sure about their involvement. So I'll be covering what happened and is happening on my journey, and that might hopefully give you or those around you something to consider when facing mortality, even if it's not your own. So the diagnosis I had was back in October 2022. I was told that I had stage 4 terminal cancer, and basically I was never told why I was inoperable. I was just passed on to the next person. So stage 4 is typically where the cancer metastasizes. And in this case, it had metastasized through to my liver. So I dealt with the initial surgeon who told me where the cancer was located was inoperable. And then I dealt with a liver surgeon who told me that the metastasized cancer was inoperable, because if they put me on the operating table, they'd probably kill me just trying to get to the cancer. So here I was, stage 4, terminal inoperable. So then, over the course of 2 weeks, I spent my time going from surgeon to surgeon, to then the oncologist, and I also came across a doctor who had been with the natural way of doing things as well as the conventional way of stuff. So I went to him because I'd heard about vitamin C and the power of IV vitamin C. So I had a range of opinions, from the surgeons to the oncologist to this doctor, all in the space of 2 weeks and 1 day. 2 working weeks and 1 working day. And I didn't really comprehend it. Things moved really, really fast. And I went from appointment to appointment, not even sure of the questions I had asked. I hadn't really personally been around cancer, although people in my family had died from cancer. I had never watched a human die of cancer, and I had never been part of the people who are involved around that, friends and family. Although I was family, I was a child, and children were left at home. So I had all this news coming at me, and then I got to the oncologist. So I had 2 surgeons. I had one surgeon say to me if I didn't do chemotherapy that I would die within 3 months. So I was diagnosed in October, so I was expected to go by January of 2023. The oncologist said no, if I don't do chemo, I'd probably die within 6 months. So in February of 23, I decided that some alternative treatment that I'd gone down the path of, which wasn't the vitamin C, it was a trial project that a scientist was running which we had to pay for we had the funding to pay for it, or you didn't. If you didn't provide payment, obviously you didn't get the trial treatment. So that's another topic in itself. Looking at alternative treatments and what I've learned doing that, but I won't cover that today. With the oncologist, he said up to 6 months, and I think he was basically more or less right. So I decided in which would have taken me up till about April of 2023. So I decided in February, given that the oncologist had said I had a 25% chance of killing the cancer, I thought I'd take that chance. It didn't kill, or it killed a lot of the cancer and took my numbers right down to, I think I had to be below level less than 3, and I actually got to 1.8 or something, which was really, as I was told before then, it wouldn't happen, and it did. I wasn't expected to be here now, and I am. I feel like I am here now because I feel there is something that I'm not doing, and I think that what I haven't been doing is sharing my story. I feel I have enough information now that I can do that with you. Who are you? I'm expecting either you've got just an interest, a self-interest, maybe a professional interest, I don't know, or you're a family member of someone who's been diagnosed, you're a patient yourself, you're a friend, you're an elderly person who's going through facing mortality. Things aren't going as planned, your body's falling apart. So I believe that I have advice that can help you on your own journeys, and feel free to add comments. The amount of people I've come across on this journey from all aspects has been a real blessing, actually. So I'm hoping that in one of these videos I can help you. So I had surgeons telling me how long I had left to live and what I should do or shouldn't do based on statistics. It wasn't so much that what I should or shouldn't do, it was that if you don't do these things, this is what's going to happen to you, because statistics tell us this, and we'll come back to that as well. But as you can see, 2 working weeks and 1 working day, I went through a whirlwind of information all coming at you. So you really do need to take someone with you, because not only are you facing your mortality all of a sudden, you've been given all this information that you're supposed to digest and retain. I will be covering in the course of these videos what did I have realised what I needed at the time. And if you would like any more information than what I'm giving you, then please just comment. I will be covering a lot of topics though. One thing I have got as a message though to family and friends is I noticed when it came time to tell people, so you've not only been told yourself what's wrong, you then have, I would call it courtesy, to update other people. I got my mother to update most of the family, and I started updating friends in my own time, but not too long after everything. So I had a few people come to me and say, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I mean, what do you say to someone who's been told they're dying? Words will either flow or they won't. You will either think of something to say and it'll be taken in the way that it's meant. So if someone says to you, I don't know what to say, you can say, you don't have to say anything, because they don't. The very fact that they want to say something and they can't shows how much they care. They really, really care. And they want to take it away from you. They want you to just not have this, you know. So if someone says, I don't know what to say, or you're one of those people who says, I don't know what to say, you know, if it's by text or if it's by, you know, send them an emoji, a heart emoji. It says heaps. In a moment, in times like that, it says just as much as words do. So it's okay. Send a heart emoji. If you're with them, just give them a hug. You know, just say, I don't know what to say, so I'm going to give you a hug. And I'm so sorry to hear this. Well, you don't even have to say that. Just give them a hug. And for those who do know what to say, it's cool. You know, even with this disease, I've been in a situation where I did not know what to say to other people when something's happened. Because, you know, the older you get, the more shit happens. Let's face it. So not saying anything is okay. And giving a hug is okay. Just not saying anything at all is probably can be taken in many ways. Hopefully for the patient, you'll see it that some people can't deal with death. They just really struggle to deal with death. And they might even back off. They might even disassociate. But it's okay because it's their journey. It's how they are handling it at the moment. And, you know, quite often the patient has to be the stronger one. I have noticed that many times. When dealing with family members, especially with parents, it's, as far as they're concerned, it's not right to watch their daughter die before them. And so you're the one who has to sort of kind of hold back the tears at times, and or not. I felt for my situation, I did. I just held back the tears until I was on my own, and then I would cry, or I'd cry with friends. And I would have the occasional cry, don't get me wrong, with my parents. They've seen a lot when I've been given, you know, when you think you've been told everything and then there's even more information coming your way. But for parents to lose their child is really hard. And that was those were times when I decided to be strong, to tell them it was okay. And my spiritual beliefs have helped that as well. So I'm going to leave this video here. I'll be making plenty more, all based on topics and of interest to those in the situation. And I look forward to catching up with you in a week, more or less. Love you.